Good morning, guys. I know we were gone Friday, but welcome back. New week. Welcome back to another episode of AKP Sports Talk. That's Ari. I'm Korea. We're just going to get right into it. Obviously, new week. We did not have a video Friday, so we're just going to get into our big plays for
We,
today.
I will say we did go 3-0 together on Thursday, our last episode, so we'll look to get that going into this week.
Of course, obviously, we always like to end the week on a hot note. Obviously, 3-0 day means we're going to start, hopefully, this week with a 4-0 day. That's the goal right there. First, we're going to get into my plays, going to the MLB first, and we're going to the Pittsburgh Pirates game, and we're taking that first 5 over 4.5. It's about plus 105 right now. I know it's plus money. I know it's scary. Ooh, it's plus money, but you look at the two pitchers on the mound, and it's Tyler Anderson and Mitch Keller. And first, we're going to go into Mitch Keller. I mean, he's more of the lenient guy in this. When we're talking about the over, he is more of a turkey tosser. I saw a stat. I think he's had allowed a homer in each of his last 4 games. He just does not look the kind of the same, at least dominance that we did see last year. He was a little bit better last year, but the one caveat is that when he does not locating, it's going to be home run city. And there are a couple guys in this lineup for the Angels, even though there's no Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani anymore. I do believe that this Angels lineup can do a little bit of damage on the base path to get this first 5 over, maybe get a couple runs there, 2 or 3, and then for the other side for the Angels, with Tyler Anderson on the mound, the Pirates can hit lefties pretty decently. The one caveat is that they do strike out a lot, but that's mostly against righties, and that's kind of what I'm leaning on, is that the fact that the Angels, even with Tyler Anderson on the mound, his splits aren't as great on the road, especially against the Pirates in this spot. I'm kind of backing the fact that, the Pirates offense, in that last series against Colorado didn't really show up that much until the final day. I'm hoping that kind of continues for them. And then for the Angels, they had a lot of opportunities against the Guardians. Their offense didn't really show up at all, but I expect them in this wonderful matchup for them against Mitch Keller. I expect their offense to show up through the first 5. So I'm just going to take their first 5 over 4.5. We're getting it at a good value of plus money here. I think there's going to be some runs scored through the first 5. Backing more on the Angels, but I hope the Pirates maybe can get 1 or 2 as well to maybe push that to 5 runs as well. And then we're going to go to the Premier League, so this starts a little earlier, so get those bets in as soon as you can. But we're going to go to the Premier League here, and we're taking a little bit of a same-game parlay. First, it's Manchester United and Crystal Palace, both teams to score, and then also Crystal Palace team total over 1.5 goals. That parlay combined is about minus 105 for the same game. I'm just going to explain why. First, with Manchester United, both of these teams concede a lot of goals. With Crystal Palace, especially at their home pitch, even though they did pretty much blank my Hammers. Oh God, that was ugly. That was so ugly. I think it was like 5-1. Oh my God, we suck. But after that embarrassment for my Hammers, I expect Crystal Palace to at least be competitive in this. Obviously, Monday night weekday Premier League matchups are a little finicky. I don't like to really target weekday, but it's kind of the weekend, like the end of the weekend. They like to always have one on Monday nights in England. So I do like this, both teams to score here. We look at Manchester United. I mean, there are plenty of guys on that squad that can score. We talk about Garnacho, Marcus Rashford. There is no Harry Maguire today. He is injured. That's going to be one of the key reasons why I'm on Crystal Palace team total over 1.5. They don't have that center back defense, and that's going to be really big, for Crystal Palace, who has guys like Eze and Michael Olise, who can get in between those lanes and, really provide that speed and burst. I hopefully they get 2 in the first half, so we don't have to worry about that. But maybe obviously 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half, I believe is probably going to be what is happening there. I've seen a lot of I don't really like anything else in this matchup. There's all the goal scorers are plus money, and with goal scorers and in baseball, in soccer, it's like home runs in baseball or goals in hockey. It's hard to predict who's going to score, especially for soccer. You don't know who's going to score what day. But we're just taking both teams to score. We're just needing 2 goals from one from each team, and obviously 2 goals from Crystal Palace. That is the goal. Hopefully the goal there. I've seen some people talking about Manchester United win or draw, but I didn't really like that just because of the fact that Maguire is out, and obviously, they're not at Old Trafford. They're at Selhurst Park, so that's Crystal Palace's home pitch. So Man United away form is a little finicky at times. So We're just going to take both teams to score. Obviously, that's just not asking too much. Just one goal from each team, and then Crystal Palace team total over 1.5 at -105. I think that's a great parlay for the end of this Premier League week as we wrap up the Premier League season, which is crazy. We're already wrapping up the season. And then Angels Pirates first five over 4.5. Just fading both pitchers. I think that it's going to be a rough day for Tyler Anderson on the mound on the road, and then Mitch Keller, the turkey tosser himself. I think he gets banged up a few times in the first 5 innings at home against this Angels lineup that is pretty hungry after getting shut out by Cleveland on the road. So those are my 2 plays for today. Ari, what have you cooked up on this Monday?
Yeah, 2 MLB plays for me. We'll start off with the game between probably 2 of the hottest teams in the AL, if not the whole MLB. Mariners won 6 series in a row. Twins just had their 12-game win streak broken yesterday by the Red Sox. And now we have a game today between the 2 teams, Luis Castillo against Simeon Woods Richardson. Woods Richardson, if you just look at, look at the box score and whatnot, he has a 2.54 ERA, which obviously looks really solid. But he's only made 3 starts, 2 against the White Sox, 1 against the Tigers. Not to say that the Mariners offense is a huge juggernaut, obviously, but I think it's better than the White Sox. And, I guess the Tigers could be underrated to some, but, this is a combination of the Mariners lineup, but also Luis Castillo going for the Mariners, who, after a rough start to the season, his first couple of starts has really turned back to his old self. 20 innings, 3 starts in his last 3 starts. He's getting up 2 runs, including 7th shutout against the Braves. Then 6 innings, 2 runs against the Rangers, 7th shutout in Colorado. So he's really found himself. So it's really just a value play for me at basically even money or pretty close to even money. Backing Castillo here against Woods Richardson, who's probably due for maybe a little bit of regression just based off his numbers and who he's faced. I think it's, I don't think the Mariners, I'm not saying the Mariners necessarily crush him, but I think they're going to do enough to where Castillo will be able to, limit the Twins, obviously, and, get the win for the Mariners today. So that's the first play. Second play, Padres first 5 money line. This is the first start back for Justin Steele since opening day when he injured his hamstring. So that's kind of why I went just first 5, just kind of, fading Steele a little bit. I considered going first 5 under in this game to maybe back Steele potentially, but the numbers just didn't really add. It wasn't enough for me because under 4.5 was -180, and then under 3.5 was what was plus money. But I don't know, Steele's first start back off injury, going up against Yu Darvish, who just came off injury himself in his last start. He threw 5 shutouts, so maybe Steele can deliver. But I'm just backing the Padres to get a couple at least off of Steele, and then Darvish to maybe give 1 run or 2 runs on the first 5, maybe a 3-2 Padres lead through 5, something like that. But mostly it's less about Darvish and more about Steele coming off injury over, I think it was March 31st or something like that was the opening day, give or take a day. So over a month being sidelined. So just kind of fading him slightly in the first 5, again with the Padres first 5. So those 2 plays for me today.
I will never ever say this. Why would you ever take the Mariners money line? Of course we're taking the Mariners money line. I love taking the Mariners money line. Obviously, you mentioned with the Twins and their big win streak kind of ended yesterday, but you mentioned Simone Woods Richardson in this matchup. You look at the box score, he hasn't faced any top offense. And now, yes, the Mariners aren't the greatest offense in baseball right now, but there are a formidable offense at the moment, obviously beating Houston 2 out of 3, mostly obviously backing as well with how amazing the pitching staff is right now, setting absolute records for I'm not even just glazing right now. I'm just literally it's factual, people. The Mariners pitching staff right now is setting records, and I feel like this continuation is going to be a continuing trend today. I think there is a little bit of concern with Luis Castillo, obviously, but I still believe, as you said, Ari, he's kind of settled down into his regular season form as we did see last year. So just backing I'd say the better team throughout this game, I think is a great idea. And then you mentioned the Padres' first five. I was looking at them under 4.5 as well, but as you mentioned, it's super juiced. It's not even worth taking. And then same for the Nerfy as well. At already at -155. You mentioned both pitchers, Yu Darvish and Justin Steele, making his return since his hamstring injury that he got on opening day against the Rangers. That's still pretty impressive. It's not like it's a nothing injury. Obviously, that injury affects your motion and everything. So maybe Justin Steele, obviously his first true start of the season. As we really, if you really want to talk about it like that, it's definitely going to be maybe some rusty feathers for him. So maybe just backing the Padres on the first five there, definitely a great idea for you. Those are Ari's 2 plays. Going back to mine, going to the Premier League with Man U, Crystal Palace, both teams to score, and then Crystal Palace team total over 1.5. That parlay comes out to about -105, and then going to Pittsburgh with the Angels and Pirates, first five over 4.5 at +105. Those are my 2 plays. Obviously, you can find all these plays and this video on our Twitter below, AKP Sports Talk. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. That is going to do it for this episode. That is Ari. I'm Korea. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.